Hey, what's up? My name is Dennis Bloom, and I am here with Connor. Is it Twele or Twele?
Twele. It's Twele.
Twele. See, I suck. I'm horrible with last names, but I've known him for like a month or two now?
Yeah.
Pretty funny guy. Ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so how did your first show go?
First real show I was on, there wasn't like a mic. I had maybe 6 people in the audience. So
Nice.
But it felt good. I was like, I made it. I made it here at Chameleon Pizzeria, formerly known as Chameleon Comedy Club. I have reached the pinnacle.
I actually know like a lot of comics who have said that they started out at Chameleons and they're like, this is a really nice room. I've been several times. John does run a really good show there.
Yeah, the mic there is fantastic.
Yeah, totally. It's way better than one I have right here. What drove you to want to get up on stage and perform comedy at all, man, or even after that?
Yeah, I was just kind of like in one of the valleys, in the peaks and valleys of our life, and just like, I don't know, it can't get much worse, I might as well try and do something that's scaring me, or that I want to do that I'm afraid to do, and if it works out, great, and it just so happened to work out well enough to have me come back another time. And
comedy is very scary.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Yeah.
What do you feel like, this is just a side question, what do you feel like was possibly like so scary about it at all? Like for me, it would be like everybody always being like, and not laughing. That's like super scary to me.
Yeah, definitely worried about if I was funny or if I was writing good jokes or like, and I mean, I didn't have anyone to bounce these ideas off of. I didn't know that we had like a robust comedy scene.
Right.
And it was right under my nose. I lived half a mile from the first mic that I went to.
That's dope.
Yeah, so.
I'm gonna do number 3.
Yeah.
So, what has been the highest point or the happiest moment of your comedy career so far? And subsequently, you don't have to answer this because I'm not doing this to tear anybody down unless you have a cool story about it.
Yeah.
What was also your lowest or most embarrassing moment during your comedy progression as well?
Yeah. The highest so far was I wrote one joke that was doing well, and like even after it was working, I like broke it down and I wrote out like the setup and like what the premise was and the punches and the tags and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is what they're talking about when they say write a joke. I was like, I did it. Like, I wrote a joke. Yeah,
right, dude, and that's so hard. Like, that first joke that you write, you're like, jeez, it feels like you wrote it with crayons. At least I did for me, you know? Like, it's like an underhand pitch.
Yeah, and it was something that was so, like, worked out on stage, too, that when I finally, like, I was like, why is this working so well? I was like, oh, because this is a structure, and it's funny, and it has cadence. I was like, damn, if only I could do this again.
It's one of those things, like, I feel like it's like, man, this is what they mean by iambic pentameter.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they mean, because I have no clue what, I'm definitely...
It just sounded right. I know my music teacher said it, and you're like, the rhythm, the cadence.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, my writing is just like so crazy. Yours is probably a lot cleaner than mine. The way that you do your stuff, if I may say that.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I just made him feel awkward because as a guy just, complimented another guy, and he's like,
all I was thinking was I have very nice handwriting. I do, like, I care very much about my hand style, so.
That's what's up, like, that is actually, it's a lost art anymore, because everybody writes like shit.
Yeah. And it's funny, when you, like, sign a receipt, I'm so proud of my, like, handwriting and stuff, but when I sign a receipt, I just draw a dick.
You got our next review.
I write, hi, Mom.
Nice. I saw that episode of The Office earlier where he signed the HR pledge to not be offensive as Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
I was like, I've always just signed my name. I'm a loser.
Yeah.
Sorry, just drawing dicks. So, how influential was your local comedy community or friend set to your progression so far in your career?
Yeah, definitely helped having the comedy scene like that I was talking about earlier. But I mean, really, yeah. Then like finding the people that I clicked with, it has just like made everything so much more fluid or more dynamic or something like that.
It feels more like you're able to go with the flow a little bit better because you're with the rest of the salmon of Capistrano or whatever.
Yeah, and it's the people that I think are funny and that I emulate and stuff that I ultimately want to make laugh. More so, not more so than the fucking audience, but like I am trying to make myself laugh and my friends laugh, so it's nice to have those friends be comedians. Just so they can
It's hard to make your friends or comedians laugh because they're looking at you like judging you and shit like, funny fucker.
Yeah.
But that's part of it. I think that helps us promote.
Yeah, for sure. And everybody's got to be the coolest guy in the room. If not, you're not getting on a Chameleon Showcase. If you're
No. You can't sling jokes in a pizzeria unless you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is cool. This has been really cool so far.
I appreciate that.
So number 5, how do you feel on stage? Like, what's your headspace or your thought process while you're up there? You know, because like for me, it's almost like I'm like in the slip where I can see myself, and I know I've said this already every other episode. Yeah. So, but it's like I can see myself, and like it's like I know whether or not I'm doing good, while I'm also in the back of my head screaming like, do this better. You know, like how does it go for you?
I definitely get, I don't know, like nervous energy, but I used to not go up with set lists and stuff in the beginning. Not just didn't have set lists, but didn't even really know what I was going to talk about. I was like, I know I have 5 or 6 jokes, and however they work out, they work out. But I try to be a little bit more structured now without being rigid and like confined, because I don't know if I give off an apathetic tone right now.
No,
but
you're good, man.
Sometimes that happens on stage, and that's just when I'm trying to think too hard.
Dude, you're doing great. Yeah. When you're up on stage, man, you seem very comfortable. I don't want you to feel like, you know, you do very wonderful. Just from an observer, friend, you know, comment. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's, I just try to.
What made him awkward again? Yeah, keep complimenting him, man. So, want to do the bonus question?
Yeah.
Cool. What is the hardest part of your personal struggle in your process?
Just finding the time, because first, like I'm a dad first, and so like that time is very important, and then because I have a child, I do have like a day job and stuff that like is very, like I'm a software engineer during the day, so that does require a bit of like mental labor and stuff. So then just like finding the time to, if I'm not doing a mic, am I writing? If I'm not writing, why am I not writing? You know, and there just never seems to be enough hours in the day to get it all done. And then because I still want to hang out with other comedians and stuff too, you know, there's just never enough time.
Dude, thank you so much, man. This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate you for doing this.
Yeah,
stay amazing, man. I look forward to doing more of this stuff with you, man.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, hey, I am here with Alex Schubert for the second interview of the night here at the Hi-Fi Bar in Mount Adams, Cincinnati. Alex, what are your social media, all that stuff? So I'll put it somewhere here.
I'm at Barack Obama on Instagram, Facebook. No, I can't.
I was like, hell yeah, he's got swag.
Oh yeah, no I don't. Big Shubes on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat if you're 13. Alex Schubert on Facebook, Big Shubes on Twitter. I'm on all of them, so you can find me anywhere.
Awesome, thanks, man. Hopefully we get some attention.
Sure.
So how did your first show go? Like your first real show?
I was thinking about this right before this. My first real show was at a bar in Cheviot, Ohio, which is like super west side of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It's a place called Public House,
Heard that one.
which I looked up. I found out it was the second bar ever rescued on the show Bar Rescue.
That's pretty
I did
cool.
not know this until like years ago. I'm like, I did a show there.
That's pretty
It was
cool.
like it was like 3 months in where I just like went to a showcase and I wasn't even on. I was like literally 3 months into comedy.
Yeah.
And they just like gave me a small spot and I actually ended up going pretty well.
Dude, like, technically, you can say that you also helped save that bar.
No, I can't.
Is it gone now?
No, I don't know. I mean,
You just
as
don't
far as I
care.
know, it's still there.
Okay.
Seemed like a pretty cool place.
I like that you're just like, no, I can't. I'm going to be humble.
Nah, I was just a fucking 19-year-old kid doing stand-up comedy in a John Taffer bar.
Hell yeah. Dude, I mean, you gotta respect the integrity, man. A lot of comics actually have, like, that integrity where it's like, yo, we gotta stay true to ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's respect, man. What drove you to want to get up on stage at all to perform, you know, and go through that in Cheviot, Ohio, man?
Yeah, Cheviot, Ohio, where dreams are born! Nah, man. No, when I was in high school, like, I got home from school every day and I just wrote jokes.
Oh, yeah.
I just wrote, like, topical jokes every day. So I just sat down. It's literally, like, topical, like, Leno, kind of like the monologues and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
That's literally how I learned to write a joke. So, like, I wrote just, like, set up, news story, and then a punchline.
Yeah.
That's literally how I learned to write a joke. And I just did that. I wrote probably, like, 10 a day. Most of them were dog shit. But
10 a day, man. Like, you understand.
most of them were dog
Shel
shit.
Silverstein is an artist, and Shel Silverstein used to write a minimum of, I think, 2 to 3 poems per day just to make sure that there would be enough content for all of the books. So
Yes.
the fact that you were writing 10 jokes a day, that's like, you're beyond where the sidewalk ends when it comes to writing comedy jokes. That early on, man. Like, so kudos. Don't tear yourself
Thank
down
you.
about that, man. That's really fucking awesome.
Thank you.
It took me a good 2 years to really start really writing down jokes, and I feel like that put me behind it, but it also gave me that ability to jazz and stuff. So you were already above like that, so that's totally cool.
Nah, thank you. I mean, it was just like, it was literally just practice. Like, most of them sucked. I think, like, I had a few that I thought were funny, but
Yeah.
for the most part, it was just me.
That's
It was a
that's
hobby.
it. Yeah.
And then when I got to college, I'm like, I got a driver's license, and I didn't drive until, like, after I graduated high school. So when I got into college and shit, I was like, I can go anywhere I want. I can do stand-up comedy. I can go to bars and do open mics. I can go to clubs and do shows. I can go to... And now it's gotten to the point, I'm like, I'm 10 years in, and I have an excuse to literally go anywhere in the country.
Yeah, dude, isn't it great? And then you're also like, you know what? Anywhere I go in the country, I just really feel like I'm getting some abuse.
For the most part, like, I can go to Denver, Colorado and fucking bomb in a brewery.
Yeah.
Or I can, and the next night, literally destroy in Comedy Works, which I fucking love that club to death. It's like one of my favorite clubs in the country.
Yeah, dude, fuck yeah, man.
Dude, Sam's the best.
On that, like, let me ask you, and that's a good segue into the next question.
I have my answer for this.
Cool.
I have a couple answers for this.
What is your highest or happiest moment? And subsequently, if you don't want to, again, and we're not trying to make anybody look bad, but if you want to go into your bad moment, or
I have an answer.
Cool.
Dude, it like, so the bad moments, I feel like make you appreciate the good ones.
Totally.
I have two high moments I wanted to talk about. My first one was, you remember the show At Midnight?
Barely.
It was the fucking, just like the panel comedy show.
Yeah.
So I used to do like their tweet of the day shit, like their hashtags, their hashtag games.
Does it come across the thing on the...
Yeah, of course. I got a tweet of the day on the show.
Fuck yeah, I've never got that.
And then, and this was like at 12:10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Go to sleep, literally very next, like, I slept, and then mid-afternoon, the booker of Go Bananas messaged me, offering me my first ever booked weekend. So I got a tweet on At Midnight and my first booked weekend on the same calendar day.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It was the most incredible feeling.
It's 10 jokes a day that paid off, man. Like, that's serious. You got to put in work if you want to get
They
by.
paid off. No. Another like just. I think one of the best highs you can have as a comic is when a new joke works.
Totally. Yes.
It's one of the best highs you can have. I remember this was 3 years ago, I went to an open mic at a place called The Hub in Cincinnati.
I love the Hub.
Love The Hub. My buddy
Great.
Lee hosted. He's literally one of the best dudes I know.
Yeah, my first episode of this was at the Hub.
No shit.
Yeah.
Did you interview Lee?
I entered. No, he was gone. He was down in Louisville
Yeah.
at the time.
Oh,
He
okay.
was doing Lexington, Louisville.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, Lee.
No, Lee's the fucking man.
He is. He's super nice. He's always very
Dumbass.
nice. He builds up people.
Hi, rap music man. But 3 years ago, I'm a cheese ball. 3 years ago, I had a set and I wanted to try 2 jokes that night. My second one was one that literally made me almost fall off of a weight machine at the gym because I was laughing so hard. And I was like, you know what? I literally said in the mic, I just want this joke to work and then I'll leave. And then I told the joke. I honest to God think the room erupted. It was like I was looking around and like I saw people's faces. I saw just like everything just fucking stopped in that room. I'm like, this is just, I get chills fucking thinking about it.
Dude, that's totally cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
you Babe Ruthed it, man. You were like, called the shot.
It was literally the second of 2 jokes I wanted to do that night,
So
and
cool.
it just tore the place apart. And I don't want to sound like arrogant and shit when I'm like, I fucking murdered. Because I think sometimes people can use the phrase, I killed, way too liberally.
Yeah.
But, like, man, that joke absolutely crushed.
Hell yeah.
And I still use it every now and then. It's kind of an inconsistent joke.
I mean, as long as you can find the right rooms, man, a joke is
Yeah.
a joke. You just gotta be able
And-
to get in where you fit in.
Yeah, and I literally had my funniest person in Cincinnati contest that Wednesday.
Congrats.
That joke I only told once. I closed on it. I didn't advance, but
I was hoping it killed you. Like,
it did well. But I didn't advance, but I closed on it, and I was just like I felt comfortable enough with that joke that I could close on. I actually might be closing on it this Wednesday.
that's you know what? Wednesday. That's at.
Go Bananas.
All right, I might show up there.
Dude.
Actually, I was thinking about planning on it.
Dude, of course.
Kids, man.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I know you got a lot of kids, Dennis.
Yeah. How many? 7?
Yeah, 7.
12? Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that's totally 7.
I got 13 myself. It's a lot.
Baker's does. Oh, yeah. How influential has your local comedy community or your friend set of comedians been in helping you build your comedy progression so far?
I think they're more motivators than anything, because like I have a booked weekend out in Minneapolis and they've just been nothing but happy for me. So I just heard their conversation.
Now he was talking about us taking a picture.
Yeah.
He doesn't ever taking a video, and we know that you just drove around twice, stupid.
Yeah, we're talking about human trafficking and not Adams. Special report. No. Nah, man, it's they've been just the nicest. The nicest. That's a word. No, they've been the nicest, man. They've been super cool, and everyone's been just very supportive of me, and
Cincinnati is a really community-driven
like
place, for
you
real.
wouldn't believe.
I started doing comedy recently down here for the very first time about 3 months ago.
Okay.
And from the very first time that I stopped over at the Hub, man, it was nothing but love. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're from Dayton? Hey, what's up?" And I was just outside, kind of being like, trying to be standoffish. And people were like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?" It's really nice.
I think because we know the majority of the scenes in like, because Cincinnati knows like the indie scene, the
Yeah.
Dayton scene, the Columbus scene, the Louisville scene.
Everybody comes through Cincinnati, man.
It's kind of a central location, and I love it. Like we know, like there's like so many clubs within like 2 hours of this place.
Yeah.
There's 2.5 hours you go to the Comedy Act. You got 2 hours you go to Helium and Indy. You'll go to Wiley's or some of the Funny Bones. You'll go to Comedy Off Broadway. You'll go to Louisville Comedy Club, Planet of the Tapes.
Yeah.
I'm just listing off clubs.
I want to go to the Planet of the Tapes so bad. Just a heads up. I want to go. I've heard so many good things. I know it's probably getting ready to go down or whatever, but
It's a cool spot.
it seems really cool.
It's a cool spot, man. I closed out their mic last Monday. I did okay.
Oh yeah.
But it was
Congrats,
fun.
dude. You gets around, man. He's like American Express. You're everywhere I am, dude. He is. He's being humble. Ready for question number 5?
Sure.
I love this, by the way. This has been a
I was
really
gonna
fun interview.
I'll talk about my lowest moment.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Oh.
I always try to dodge it. I always try to dodge it, so.
I think it's fun to talk about your low moments every now and then because not even that. I think sometimes your low moments are hilarious stories.
Okay.
It's like when you bomb egregiously, it's not like, man, I was sitting on the doorstep, I was ready to shoot myself in the face. No, it's like when you have a show that's so bad, you just laugh about it 3 years from now. I did a show, I was 9 months in, and my buddy Billy DeVore,
Yeah.
great friend,
Super cool guy.
the best. He's my day one.
Yeah.
He decided to host a comedy show on his staircase in his house for his family Christmas party. I went up first and did 10 minutes and bombed real bad.
In the house, on the stairs at Christmas.
For his family and friends. It was egregious.
I'm sorry to laugh. I just know how it feels, man, because you're like, dude, like, this is fun to everybody I know.
Nah, it was hilarious. It was hilarious in retrospect.
That's cool, though. That's really cool that you're able to have fun with that. And you are correct, man. Those moments, it's good to look back, I feel, and really learn from it, because you're like, yo, don't do that again.
Because I've heard there are incredible bombing stories.
Yeah.
And some of those can be, honestly, those can be more fun than the killing stories.
As long as people are able to, I think, say it right. Yeah.
You have to have a sense of humor about yourself to be a comedian.
Yeah.
And if you can laugh at your bad moments, you're already like,
Yeah.
you can't have too much of an ego to be like, man, I kill it every time. I feel like killing every time it gets boring.
Yes. I love those moments wherever I feel like I'm not doing so good, because then that means I get to start writing more on that joke. If I keep doing it.
And just perfecting it. Just
Yeah.
keep at it. It's so fun.
What do you like? How? What goes through your mind when you're up there? Like, what's in your headspace? Like, how do you process up there while you're alone?
The one thing I have in my head is I hope the crowd knows that I hope the crowd doesn't know that these jokes are stolen. That's the one thing that's going through my mind.
They never notice.
Yeah, they never know. I could do a rock bit right now. The difference between black people. Anyway, that was fun.
that was that HR episode.
Yeah.
It's a good callback.
No. So what goes through my mind when I'm on stage is like I have especially when I'm at an open mic, is I'm a very word for word comic.
Yeah.
So I think I have like a list of things I need to say. More or less, not a list, just a list of sentences I need to say.
Yeah.
And they just like form a bit, and I just want to make sure, like, does this joke work? Do I need to cut this chunk? Do I need to extend on this one? Do I need to just like do I need to keep it as is? There's so much that goes in. There's so much that goes into like a 4 or 5 minute set.
Yeah.
I just need to make sure that like everything I talk about just goes together. And how do I add it to? How could I add this new chunk to my long set?
Let me ask you, because like when you're up there, and I'm not trying to give away any of your art form when you're up there or anything, like you referenced about your autism.
Yeah. I'm lying about it.
Secular thought. Is you trying to tie up that circle when you're up there, or
What do you mean?
like you know how like you'll start off on a thought and you're like, okay, and like when you build that set, you almost like want to rebuild back around to it to where it comes back secular, to where you can like call back at the end and then do your closer or something. Because I've noticed you are kind of meticulous about the way that you process and you do that. Just my observation, trying to show you like, hey man, I noticed that was really cool. You're really strong for that, and I think that really does show through with what it is that you do. You have the ability to go into these bars and confidently do that and be your bare bones self and say stuff like that. Like for me, I can't go up there and be like, yo dog, I have ADHD and I have to smoke hella weed because of it.
I don't really give a shit about like. I mean, I like endearing myself to the crowd, but like I don't give a shit about like over, because like I don't want to be the autistic comic. I don't want to be known as like, man, this guy he does comedy despite the fact that he has autism.
Yeah.
I'm like, go fuck yourself.
It's something that you overcome in order to be up there.
I don't know.
I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah. I'm like, thank God.
Oh, let me get on this question. Yeah. I'm so sorry. If you feel like I'm rushing you through this at all, I can totally.
You're fine, dude.
What's the hardest part of your struggle to do your process in comedy?
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Basically what you're asking is like, what's the hardest part of being a comedian?
Like for you, yeah. Because like for me, it's kind of like how Connor said before, which is it's the ability to show up. I always have to leave my family and my hella kids, and she's at home. And she's always
Yeah. Well, as a genderqueer black woman, I think the hardest part is just being accepted for who I am. No, I think one of the hardest parts for me. And unto you as well. Did I get that right?
I think so. I don't know either. I don't know.
Nah, man. I think the hardest part for me, because I'm trying to like progress as a comic, I think the hardest part for me is like trying to figure out how to take that next step. Because right now, one thing I'm working on really, really hard is like trying to get on showcases like out of town.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out like, who do I reach out to? Do I DM the book or do I DM the show?
Yeah.
Do I? Is my clip good enough?
Well, and then you don't want to send it to the wrong person and then feel like a D-bag, because then if you do get the show, you show up and you're like, hey, why'd you send that to Frankie V? He's the freaking waiter, dude.
I don't worry about that.
Yeah, I do, man. I worry about all of that shit. I'm like, ah!
No, I love the life of a comic, where like I go into like these hip ass rooms and do these super cool shows. No, I love shit like that, where I can just go in like the coolest spots,
Yeah.
have like just a crowd of people and chairs, and that's what I said. But no, I just love shit like that, where I can just go to these cool spots, but I'm struggling to figure out how to do that.
You're not, just so much as you're not struggling so much from my perspective.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you're legit. You're doing really good, man.
Thank you.
I think it's just a matter of time, honestly.
It's like for me, because my comfort zone is open mics. Whereas like if I get in a funk of like not getting on shows or anything like that, I'll just be like, all right, well, let's go do open mics for literally a month. And it's like there are months where I was just like, all I do is open to notebook shows, just fucking open mics, or starting to get into like clubs and shit. But I think that's the hardest part for me right now, is figuring out how to like elevate myself instead of just being in the comfort zone of doing 5-minute sets every night. And I also, one thing I struggle with internally is like, I don't want to give, and I had this last weekend where I don't want to do the same shit over and over again.
True.
And there are a lot of clubs out there where it's like I did Wiley's, the fireworks competition in Wiley's last weekend. I wanted to do my strongest shit that they've seen a million times. But, and when I left that weekend, I was like, it made me realize how much I want to tell other jokes.
Yeah.
And I love telling those other jokes.
Whenever I do that, like I feel like I've been telling some jokes for almost like the whole time I've been doing comedy, and it's like I know that those kill, and I know it for a fact because I've done it across the country, and they always do good. And I always kind of feel like that's like my fallback. Like if I don't,
it is fallback.
yeah, it's like the underhand pitch. Like you can get a crowd because of those jokes. And so like if my new stuff isn't going so well, I always kind of like use that as a crutch. I too have been trying to get away from that, is what I'm saying. Like that's a very
hard to get away from that.
It's so hard because like you want your new stuff. Yeah, it's political. You want your new stuff to really do well, but then you're like, you understand that it's going to be bad, and it's like that's a train wreck and a half waiting to happen.
Yeah, especially like, because I don't want to do like new shit in a club, because I like, when I'm in a club, I just want to prove myself.
Yeah.
When I'm in a club, I just want to be like, all right, I can do well. I'll do like the newest shit that does well.
Yeah.
Or like shit that might not even do well, but I like it. Or like stuff that I don't like. Because there are jokes that I've written and liked that I've grown to hate. And that concept blows my mind.
Yeah, because you wrote it.
Yeah, I wrote it, birthed it, worked it out, and now, boom!
Such is the plight of some parents, man.
I am that job for my parents sometimes.
Same. Dude, seriously, this has been awesome.
Dude,
man.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
course.